finesse being a tall rider. Really an advantage in the whoop. You can get over the top of the bike, you can stretch out a little more, still keep your head forward, let the bike work underneath you. It's kind of like riding a horse. You just stay in the middle of it and let it do all the work.
Damon Huffman out in front. There's Mike LaRocco, one jump behind, and Ryan Hughes, maybe a jump and a half back, but they definitely look as though they're going to make it into the main event. Keep in mind, this is only heat number 2. We have 2 semis to go and a last chance qualifier. Mike LaRocco making a little bit of a run at the leader, but it isn't going to make any difference unless he catches and passes him here in the closing laps.
Notice coming into this section here too, they've got an outside line tonight, where yesterday they had no outside line. It was a one-line groove to the inside. So, that section's working too. I can see 4 or 5 areas where there's some possible passing and go on to the main event. So last night it was almost impossible.
White flag out for Damon Huffman. Mike LaRocco taking the inside out line, while Huffman ahead of him went to outside in. So there are 2 very definitely different lines going into the big whoop section. Here comes Damon Huffman. All that's left is a little bit of celebration on the way to the finish line. LaRocco's chasing him pretty hard. One last run through the tunnel, and you can see that even 3rd place is nowhere near the 2 leaders. Here he comes, Huffman, up and over the checkered flag, winner of heat number 2, followed by Mike LaRocco, and Ryan Hughes on the number 10 bike will capture that 3rd final transfer position. So the field is set. At least 6 of the 16 riders for the main are set right now, with Huffman, LaRocco, and Ryan Hughes earning those spots. For Jean-Sebastien Roy, Brock Sellards, and the rest, they're going to have to count on a semifinal or even a last chance race to get into the main event, and that is where the points are handed out. Let's go once again down to Larry Myers with heat number 2 winner, Damon Huffman.
Well, and Damon taking his helmet off, and the guy you have to beat, Damon, for all of that money, won heat race number 1. So it looks like it's boiling down to a 2-man showdown.
Yeah, Bernard's been going really good, and it's all going to come down to that start in the main. And I've been starting really well, and I just need to go out and try to do the same exact thing and just ride my own race and forget about the money. If I get it, that's awesome, but right now I'm just trying to use my head and just be real smart.
Damon, not to throw a jinx into anything, but how in the world can you forget about $100,000?
Money ain't no big deal. Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm thinking about it, but I'm really trying not to. I just want to have a really good race, and I'll take it if I get it.
Money ain't no big deal. That's because he's not a TV announcer struggling to make a living, guys.
Something we can relate to here in the booth, no doubt, but certainly it is a battle shaping up between Reynard and Huffman, and an interesting one indeed. But don't forget, a lot more riders still in the mix. Stay with us.
Remember when your bike looked cool? You never imagined that it could get any better. Now imagine. V-Star Classic and V-Star Custom, starting at just $55.99. Some stars are suddenly within your reach.
You don't get in this kind of shape running on a treadmill. You do it with strength exercise, and I do it with the Bowflex. You know, if you're not working out with strength training right now, you need to, because if you want to lose weight, you got to add the muscle, and that's why you need a Bowflex machine. It's like nothing else you've ever tried before. We've got over 60 exercises you can do on a Bowflex. You're never going to get bored. You can do a full workout in 20 minutes on a Bowflex machine. You're not going to believe how effective Bowflex is the first time you get on it. Bowflex may look a little different, but that's because we designed it to function correctly. Bowflex uses power rod resistance. Bowflex power rods are so effective that Bowflex guarantees results in 6 weeks or your money back. Try going to the gym and getting a guarantee on results. You won't find it. If you call and get our free videotape, you're going to see an effective workout and see how easy and quick and fun working out with Bowflex is.
The US Open of Supercross is being presented by the all-new Mazda Cab Plus 4-door truck and the entire line of Mazda trucks, the official truck of the US Open of Supercross. Mazda, get in, be moved. And by Maxxis Racing Tires, the official tire sponsor of the 1998 US Open of Supercross. Back to the MGM Grand. Now, this was the scene just a little while ago where 1997 250 National Motocross Champion and 250 Supercross champ Jeff Emig showed up. He's injured, unable to race, but he has spent a lot of time with the crowd here this weekend. A great job for him. Fine ambassador for the sport. The crowd looking on here as we have an 80cc race going on. Brian Drever, Gary Bailey up here in the booth. Larry Myers down on the floor of the arena. And Genevieve Marie is with us. We'll get to her in just a few moments. But right now, we want to take a look at the semifinals. This qualified another 8 riders into the main event. So let's take a look at semi number 1. Once again, the whole shot so important, Gary Bailey, and this time, first guy into the turn was the number 32, Jason McCormick on his Honda. He was out in front, but quickly up to challenge was Larry Ward, who's having a much better night tonight than he did 24 hours ago.
Boy, he had to be a lot happier about that, too, because he had to ride just about everything last night. He got plenty of laps in, but I'm sure he's a lot happier with this and not having to go through that first turn one more time.
Stefan Roncada running in 3rd spot. Larry Ward, in fact, was the last qualifier to get into the main last night. He was 2nd place in the last chance race, and that put him in as the number 16 man on the starting grid. Out in front, though, it was Jason McCormick, a 23-year-old out of Vancouver, Washington, running in front. And then he began to run into a little bit of trouble. The door was open for Larry Ward, and the number 4 bike went right on by, just smooth as silk.
Looking awfully smooth out there, too. Extremely smooth. And I look for him to be a contender tonight in the main event. I think if he can get off decent, I think he's going to be up there much better than last night.
Well, and of course he's tall. Larry Ward out in front in semi number 1. And then it was the number 32, Jason McCormick. Roncada, the Frenchman, running in 3rd spot, and a distant 4th. Guess who? Buddy Antunez, the Arena Cross champion, 2-time Arena Cross champion, who just had a horrible evening, even worse than that of Larry Ward. There he is on the number 26 bike, and Antunez finally getting comfortable with his brand new Suzuki, and comfortable put him into the 4th position here in semi number 1.
Yeah, talking to some of those Arena Cross guys, they're saying this is a little bit more Supercrossy, and it's a little bit harder to pass, and they can't be as aggressive. The corner's a little bit more sweeping. It's a little bit more difficult, a little different than they're used to running.
Buddy Antunez, of course, is not tall, and that could be his major problem. But out in front, Larry Ward, and then the 32 of Jason McCormick, Roncada, and late in the race, Buddy Antunez began to come under a little bit of attack here by the 33 of Casey Lytle. Lytle, who had qualified for the final last night, and he was challenging for a transfer position here in semi number 1. But just like that, Buddy Antunez was able to open a gap. Jimmy Button, in fact, moved up into the number 5 position, capitalizing on some errors by the riders in front of him, but he would come up short. With a lap to go, it was Jason McCormick running in 2nd spot. By this time, Larry Ward was long gone and on his way to victory in semi number 1.
By the way, Button coming up close. He's tall also.
Well, this is a recurring theme here at the US Open of Supercross, and something that Gary Bailey and I have been having some fun with. But the fact is that Larry Ward on the number 4 bike there on his Suzuki out of Florence, South Carolina, he qualified and won in semi number 1. Larry Ward, the winner, followed by the 32 of Jason McCormick, then Roncada and Buddy Antunez. That's the way they crossed the line. There is confirmation. Jimmy Button just a position out of transferring into the main event. Semi number 2, a race that was pretty well established from beginning to end. John Dowd established a hammer blow to the rest of the field. Then it was Dubach, Mike Brown, and Brock Sellers who rounded out the top 4 there. They move into the main event to join a field which was 14 riders at that point. Our field is set now because the final 2 riders came in the last chance qualifier, and they were the number 52, Mike Jones on a Kawasaki out of Export, Pennsylvania, and along with him into the final event, our 16th and final qualifier was only Mike Jones. Well, right now, we promised you, Genevieve Marie is with us here this weekend, and for an interesting report, a slightly different look at the US Open of Supercross, let's go to Genevieve Marie.
The US Open of Supercross, it's all about showmanship. Right down to the guys who move the dirt. Check out this guy. He rides a tractor, well, like it's a dirt bike. Wheelies, hanging off the edge. His name is Sebastian Gallois, and he hails from France. Now, how did he get to learn how to do these amazing stunts? Well, by spending a lot of time in the seat, his job is to train people how to drive these tractors. And I'd say, though, he keeps these tricks a secret. Well, no doubt there is a lot of competition out on the track, but when it comes to Sebastian, the trick tractor guy, I'd say he's second to none.
Well, tricks are what they've needed to put this course together here. 4,000 cubic yards of dirt trucked in to the MGM Grand Garden Arena to build a race course here. And our apologies, Tim Ferry, in fact, the 16th and final qualifier, the 1997 Supercross East 125 champ, rounds out the field of 16 for the main event. Let's go once again to Larry Myers down on the arena floor.
Well, I'm in a section of the racetrack that you have been talking about all night long. It's the entranceway into this tunnel. Now, what they have done differently here tonight than last night is they took this area of the racetrack and chopped it off about 1.5 feet. Now, that created two distinct lines. One, and it's obviously the fastest one, is to come up on the inside and then follow that line with a berm all the way into the tunnel. There is a second way, though, to go for those that want to take the chance, and hopefully, you know, maybe a gamble here, a gamble there is enough to elevate them. They'll come right up over the top, just like this young man. In fact, right through that line, and there are a couple of jumps straight down below here, but where they end up is just prior to the tunnel. Again, they will intersect the rider that's over here on the right. If he gets there first, he makes the pass. So they have tried desperately to make this thing faster here tonight, and they've done a good job. Guys?
I think they've done a great job. As a matter of fact, last night it was one line. Tonight it's two lines. What more can you ask for?
Well, a place to pass. That's what you can ask for if you don't get that all-important hole shot. We're coming back with the main event here at the MGM Grand in a moment. The moment we've all been waiting for. So join us, won't you?
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
You think you're ready for NFL Sunday? We are.
Welcome back to the MGM Grand. These folks are on their feet because the starting lineups are about to be announced here for the main event. The main event of this inaugural US Open of Supercross. The two winners of the two heat races, Damon Huffman and Robbie Raynard, take the first two start positions. They are able to select where they wish to start. Then Jeremy McGrath and Mike LaRocco will take the next two positions on the starting grid. They will choose their locations. And as we look down through the entire field, there's the super kid, Ricky Carmichael, along with Rhino Hughes. And these are guys who are all contenders for this overall. We'll narrow that down for you in just a few minutes. And then it is John Dowd and Larry Ward who make up the next pairing up there. And again, these are riders who qualified and elect their start positions. Where they are on the grid, that will remain to be seen. Jason McCormick and Doug Dubach there. And then we'll look back and we'll see the number 100, Michael Brown and Stefan Roncada, one of the French riders here, few internationals. There he is, Buddy Antunez, the Arena Cross champion, is in the main here tonight. A chance at redemption along with Brock Sellards. And then we look back to the final two qualifiers in this one. Jonesy, Mike Jones on the Kawasaki there, Mr. Showman, and Tim Ferry, the 97 Supercross East 125 champion, the final qualifier here tonight. So that is the starting field for this one. And this is the one that counts, Gary Bailey. This is where they hand out the loot, as we said at the top of the show. Combined points, placing very important, and it's really turning into a showdown between Robbie Raynard, the winner last night, and Damon Huffman, who has shown himself to be a very good starter, and that's what it takes.
You know, it's about the big money, but we've also got, you know, the race for tonight, which is an important thing, plus the overall. And I mean, the overall, that's the big one. I mean, that's the $100,000. Huffman says money isn't a factor. You know, I guess, well, it isn't for me up here in the booth either. You know, I just did this because I like doing this. He likes it because he just likes racing, but I think money is a factor.
Well, Sebastian putting on one final little show for the crowd as the riders are lining up at the starting gate. That gives us time to go once again down to Larry Myers.
One more quick look at this racetrack. Now, you'll recognize this area, a series of jumps going into that set of whoops. Now, the reason that they have been able to use two lines here is this simple. It's this hay bale. If you move the bale too far this way, then everybody goes up high to get the run. You move the hay bale too far this way, then they all go down low to get the speed out of the corner, and also making that the shortest way around the racetrack. But you get the bale just exactly right. You got two lines, one right here, then another further up on the track. They use the berm and then rail on out, and technically they should be as fast one way as the other. Gary, what do you think about that?
I think you're right there, Larry. And the other thing that I think is working better tonight is it didn't get as deep a groove as it did last night, and that's certainly helping it a lot.
Well, the whoop has provided, the whoop area, I should say, the 100% rockers, they're calling it here, has provided a passing zone area. They've also changed that little short chute leading back to the other long stretch of the road. And you mentioned that you might have had a little something to do with helping that.
That part out of the whoops, nobody was using the inside on that little step up onto that little tabletop and hopping off. And I made a suggestion to them. I said, why don't you guys take and chop down the inside a little bit more and make it a little bit more inviting to them? And they did, and a lot of the riders started using it. So that might be a very good passing place because they can stop a guy from actually jumping the triple.
Hey, Gary, somebody help this guy. He can't seem to get back in his front end loader here.
I don't know if I want to. I don't think I want to be where he is.
It's showtime here in Las Vegas, and you know it is. And there's Mr. Showtime, Mike Jones, on the number 52 Kawasaki. We'll be watching for him. You know, win, lose, or draw. This is the guy that puts on a terrific show. A great jumper, a freestyle guy, and one of the real stalwart competitors in the Arena Cross series for the most part. Mike Jones, he's got his race face on out there, and he's a money rider. This is money time, you might say. Far right there, Larry Ward, the number 4 bike. The 9 of John Dowd lined up right next to him. Super Kid, Ricky Carmichael. We're looking across the starting grid, and you can see that everybody's got their race face on, Gary.
Yeah, you know, Jeremy McGrath gave me a little thing. I was asking him what happened last night. He said he made a mistake. He went in there and he filled in his start area with some loose dirt. And after the start, he thought he just spun a lot. So he said, well, I'm going to try something different tonight. I'm going to go in there and just kind of pack down what's there, not throw any loose dirt, see if I can get a better bite. It looked like it worked for him in the heat race. Let's see if it works for him in the main.
Well, this is the main event. Right next to the starter box in the center is the number 21 of Robbie Raynard. Raynard is the guy that's been getting the great starts. Far left right there, right next to where it says AMA Pro Racing, under whose auspices this event is being held. On the other side of the box, let's see. Well, we saw the 10 of Rhino Hughes, but he wasn't the guy closest to the box. Once again, now we're looking at riders left. There's two halves separated by that start box. And as you pointed out, Gary Bailey, 52 feet wide. The 32nd board is sideways. $100,000 waiting for him at the end of this race. Who gets into the turn first? Oh, a big wide shot around the outside there, and tough to say who came out.
And
it
Jeremy
is once
second.
again Damon Huffman and Jeremy McGrath in the number 2 spot. So Huffman and McGrath now. Rhino Hughes in third, and this time it was not Robbie Raynard who got the great hole shot.
Well, I told you that I thought Damon was going to be consistent. I thought his height was going to help him. I thought the consistency, as smooth as he was riding. And you know what? Right now, he's the man out front. And even if McGrath passes it, it's not a big deal. McGrath was far enough back. Huffman had a second place. He's now got a first place. If he gets 2 seconds, he's still in the winning for that $100,000. And that's what it's all about.
We will keep the math running for you, but right now it is the 15 of Damon Huffman out of Acton, California. The 1994 and 1995 125 Supercross West champion. He's out front right now. And Jeremy McGrath, no less than 5-time Supercross champion, a man who went on a streak of 13 consecutive victories on his way to his 4th title in 1996.
How about Ryan Hughes? Ryan Hughes pulls off a 3rd last night. He's running 3rd right now. Ryan Hughes, a guy that has had some terrible times through the years, This is his chance to really put on a performance and make some money.
Boy, Damon Huffman just about parked it on the entry to the whoops right there. Huffman, who ran second last night and running first right now, he's in the catbird seat. A 1 and a 2 is going to beat a 3 and a 3 every time, but you're right about Rhino Hughes doing a good job. Look at Roncada, kind of in a spoiler position there on the number 18 bike. This is a guy that he finished 12th last night. He's really trying to take his stock up through the ranks. A 4th and a 12th isn't going to win it, but it sure is going to make him some more money.
Yeah, you know, I'm wondering how long it's going to take him. I'm sure McGrath's given it everything that he has, but, you know, he knows that he needs every position he can possibly get, and one of these guys got to have a problem. You know, I'm wondering if McGrath is going, you know what, if I can get this guy out of the way, maybe if he lays on the ground, that's going to give me a better opportunity to get a better result, but he's going to have to get up there to do something with it.
Well, nobody can apply pressure like Jeremy McGrath, and just knowing that that big number 2 is behind you has got to be weighing a little bit on the mind of Damon Huffman, 22 years old, out of California.
And looking extremely, extremely well out there. Very smooth, doesn't seem to be pressured. And, you know, he had a lot of injuries. He was out for quite a bit of the season. And, you know, he's come back and he's looking mighty strong. And this is a heck of a way in your first really big race. Come back and be leading this thing and win it. Boy, wouldn't that be something?
Boy, and $100 grand will buy yourself a lot of Band-Aids to restock the medicine cabinet, too, won't it, Gary?
No doubt. Hey, if the money doesn't mean anything to him, when he gets down, I'm going to go have a little talk with him to see if he just wants to loan some of it out.
I bet his mind changes pretty doggone quick when that checkered flag comes out. That's all he'll be thinking about is $100,000 for maybe 20 minutes work. I like that hourly rate.
You know, the flow, you know, a lot of people that don't ride this can't appreciate, but these guys are so fluid. This track is so rough. I went out and walked this racetrack after the main event last night, and from what we saw from up here looking down at it, I went, you know, this thing doesn't look that rough. Well, I'm telling you, whatever you're looking at on TV, believe me, it's twice or 3 times as rough as it looks.
One thing we want to keep a real close eye on, Gary, is that entry to the whoops, because right now Huffman and McGrath are using the 2 lines that Larry Myers pointed out and that you reinforced. They're going to come to that section right now. There's the hay bale.
McGrath has to. He can't follow Huffman around. If Huffman went into the inside and he got in a bobble, made a mistake, missed a gear, went down, McGrath's going to suffer for it. He's got to keep the pressure on. He's got to make Huffman keep thinking that he's there. That cost McGrath a little bit there. He came up a little bit short on the triple jump. And that right there, that's 2 bike lengths lost. It's just forward momentum that's gone.
Mike Jones moving over in the tunnel, going a lap down on the leaders right now. Damon Huffman in control. Jeremy McGrath trying to chase him. He's about a jump behind, and their guys on the sideline are certainly exhorting him. Huffman on the inside line. That time McGrath did follow him. We are hanging on the edge of our seats and hope you are too here at the US Open of Supercross.
College Football Saturday. Heisman hopefuls, championship contenders, classic rivalries. All season long on Fox Sports Ohio.
Hey, I'm Tiger Woods, and I got Fox Sports News in my bag.
The United States Naval Academy offers unique opportunities for academic, athletic, and leadership excellence. Here, young men and women learn to lead and accept responsibility with a comprehensive program that challenges them morally, mentally, and physically. Here, they strive for the highest ideals of integrity and professionalism. Here, they prepare for their future roles as officers and leaders in the Navy and Marine Corps. Midshipmen accept their commitment to the Naval Academy's
locked between the methanol haze and the stench of smoldering rubber. The war rages on. An abbreviated battle between moments in time, riding the rhythm, the song, the dance, the restless beating of a sleep second hand, fighting fractions of seconds.
In a world where every second counts, a quick call can make a big difference.
Cordell, I think the safety will bite on the play action. Try.
All right. Thanks, Pop.
That's why now all calls under 30 seconds are free. Introducing Sprint Sense Anytime, where all calls are a dime a minute and calls under 30 seconds are on our dime. Call 1-800-913-9739. Because when you get Sprint Sense Anytime, all of your calls are just one unrestricted dime a minute.
They want to know when you're going to join the team. Make me an offer.
Anytime to anywhere.
You coming to dinner Sunday?
We got a game on Sunday, Pop.
That wasn't a question, son. I'll see you later.
Call now to sign up for Sprint Sense Anytime. Every call is just a dime a minute, and calls under 30 seconds are free. Call 1-800-913-9739 for Sprint Sense Anytime.
Thanks, Pop.
Welcome back to the MGM Grand Hotel, where the man, Jeremy McGrath, has taken the lead away from Damon Huffman. A new leader on the track, but Damon Huffman is still in the driver's seat. Here's how it happened.
Got those two lines, and that's what we've been looking at all night long. We talked about how important the whoops were going to be. Jeremy's been working that outside line all night. Finally, it pays off.
So Jeremy McGrath working the whoops, working the entry to the whoops, lap after lap, finally capitalized. Now McGrath is out in front. But the situation is, Jeremy McGrath finished 7th last night. Damon Huffman finished 2nd. A 2 and a 2 for Huffman beats a 7 and a 1 by Jeremy McGrath if it stays the way it is right now. So Damon Huffman, while he's 2nd on the racetrack, is running 1st overall for the $100,000 prize.
You know what? Huffman's not going to do anything about it. He's going to stay right where he's at. He's going to be plenty happy with that. And I really doubt that he's even worried too much about if Hughes comes up and catches up to him, but he's probably not going to let that happen. But I'm going to tell you what, McGrath's where he needs to be, and Huffman's where he needs to be.
Well, Jeremy McGrath can give up, Damon Huffman can give up 8 points and essentially 5 or so finish positions and still win this thing overall if McGrath is the only guy. But he's got to worry about some other guys getting around him right now. And the 21 of Robbie Raynard has been lapped, so he is not a contender right now. You might say he's out there on the racetrack with 1 lap to go in 3rd place, but word we are getting is that he has gone a lap down. So it looks like the day's going to belong to McGrath, but the weekend to Damon Huffman.
Yeah, what a bummer for Renard. Come out, you win the first night. Hey, that's what happens in racing at any kind. I mean, you never know what is going to happen. It can be your fault, it can be mechanical, somebody else can take you out.
In any case, there he is, number 15, Damon Huffman. Out of Acton, California, just 22 years of age, is going to be a very wealthy young man in just a few more minutes. Jeremy McGrath takes the checkered flag for Moto number 2, and except for a horrible start last night, who knows, he could be the overall winner, but that's not the case. Instead, it's going to go to Damon Huffman, the number 15. The crowd is celebrating a terrific race here, and regardless of who your allegiances might have been with, and some people put their money down this weekend, you got to love the way this one turned out. A great race.
Hey, how come I didn't go out there and put some money down when I knew who was going to win?
Exactly.
Jeez,
I was going to say, Gary, why don't you put all that knowledge to use sometime? You should have gone to the betting window. And they had one open here, folks, this weekend. Gary Bailey, the professor, picked Damon Huffman to be the overall winner, and we told you that a half an hour ago. Congratulations to Jeremy McGrath, and a big high five to Damon Huffman. Back in a moment.
The Honda ATVs. The desert can't beat them. The jungle can't beat them. Mountains, rocks, water, even a fall from 1,000 feet can't beat them. And if you thought these Hondas were tough to beat before, now they come with no down payment and 9.8% APR financing, but only until December 31st. Tough to beat deals from your Honda dealer. Honda ATVs, best on earth.
it's like dancing on the pedals. You have to be precise in what you do.
It's great. There's nothing like it. Nothing can beat the standing starts. It's just like the best in the world.
I love to pass in the braking zones.
Every day, I want to win. I get paid to do a job that I love.
The US Open of Supercross has been brought to you by Toyota. Get the most out of your day every day. By Honda, maker of the world's most powerful custom motorcycle, the Valkyrie. And by Dunlop Tires, superiority and nothing else. Well, history has been made here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, as the first US Open of Supercross has drawn to a close with two very deserving winners who will share the podium here momentarily. The winner of the second moto and the winner overall, Jeremy McGrath and Damon Huffman. What a great event here as we look at the results of the second moto. You'll see that Jeremy McGrath was the winner. Huffman followed him home, but you know, he gets the victor gets the spoils, the lion's share of that $250,000 purse. Rhino Hughes, Roncada, they pretty much parked themselves in the spot there. Buddy Antonez, a little bit of redemption in 9th spot. Larry Ward finishing 6th, a major improvement for him from race number 1. Let's go down to Larry Myers amidst the celebration.
Well, with the man that won the battle out here tonight, the war, not necessarily so, but hey, you got a couple of prizes behind you that didn't look too bad.
Yeah, Larry, I definitely got the scenery going. You know, like you said, my Chaparral Yamaha was working great. I just kind of, Saturday night, got a little bit of a bad start. And
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going
it come around on Sunday, did a little bit of thinking on Saturday night, and won on Sunday.
Jeremy, did you have something to prove? Was that the thing, or were you going to let your buddy here get away from you? Because he made a mistake. That's how you made the pass.
Well, you know, it's a tight track, and I mean, Damon was riding really good, and he kind of, I was dogging him, he made a little bit of a mistake, and I just happened to get by him, you know. He didn't really need to fight me. He knew he had the thing won, so it was smart by him, you know, to do that. But I felt strong, my bike's working good, I'm ready to go. It's just got a bad start on Saturday night.
Jeremy, you know what he told me after the heat race? He says, 100,000, I ain't even thinking about the money. You lie!
Now I am. But I was really trying to, you know, just stay level-headed and play it smart. And I don't know where I've been getting those starts from. Ever since I broke my leg, I've like full shot every single race I've been in.
Okay, money aside, this is such a prestigious thing. That has to have a lot of meaning for you.
It really does. You know, I broke my leg earlier in the year. I missed a whole lot of races, and I think I'm finally back. I'm really riding good, and I'm really looking forward to a good year next year.
Let me get a word in here quickly with Ryan Hughes. He finished in number 3 position. Congratulations, guy. Outstanding ride. Tough weekend.
Yeah, it was good. You know, I think I finished 3rd every race. Qualifiers and mains, 3rd every time. But, you know, it's good, consistent for me. I haven't ridden Supercross for 6 months, and I'm going over to Europe next year. So kind of wanted to show that, you know, I could have been there next year. You know, I'm just happy to be here. They put on a great event, you know. I think this is the best event that anybody's ever put on, the most prestige, and I'm pretty stoked that I was involved with it.
You know what? I think you just put a great wrap on it. Nothing better could be said as far as I'm concerned. Congratulations to all you guys with an outstanding weekend. Guys, we'll tip it back to you.
All right, Gary. Well, Ryan Hughes, by my count, finishes up 2nd overall. That's going to be a nice payday for him as well. Jeremy McGrath, what a great champion he is. I mean, he acknowledged that Huffman just had the better 2 days.
Yeah, Jeremy is about the best thing I think that's happened to the sport, not just as a rider, but the guy is super himself. As far as this whole weekend, what I think, no pun intended, what a super weekend.
Absolutely, the US Open of Supercross. And what about Damon Huffman saying ever since he broke his leg, his whole shots have gotten better? You don't think that's going to start a trend, do you? But, well, quickly, let's go down to Larry Myers.
I'm with Rick Johnson. He's the guy that was a king. Then there was Jeff Stanton, then Jeremy McGrath, right on down the line. RJ, did you ever think in your wildest dreams, back when you were doing all the winning, that it would come to this?
I wish that it would have came to this when I was still riding. I mean, 14 years ago, I saw the invention of this in the Paris Supercross. Now they brought it over here at the MGM Grand Hotel. You know, Jeremy didn't have a good night last night, but he showed why he is the best rider in the world. Putting it to him tonight, but unbelievable show.
Okay, congratulations, guys.
All right, well, we certainly have put a punctuation mark on that. Now, Jeremy McGrath winning the battle, and as Larry Myers said, Damon Huffman winning the war. For Larry Myers and Gary Bailey and Genevieve Marie, I'm Brian Drever. Hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly did, and we're already looking forward to next year.